Hello, everyone. Sam has gone to walk his dog, so he will be a short while, but we'll kick off without him because I'm starting to think I designed a way too big dungeon. No, it'll be fine. So you have recovered the key from the gravity inverting chamber, and it also seems to have unlocked a door at the western end of the room. What next?
Well,
West.
seeing as we've gone to all the trouble, yeah.
Would seem to be a good idea.
Seems rude not to.
So this western doorway opens to reveal a pretty short passageway, 2 meters or so, and then leads to a fairly small room, 6 by 6 meters. There is an entrance leaving it to the west and one leading north at the northwest side of the room. And the floor is covered with pretty big and kind of like hefty looking stone tiles that are in pretty good condition. They're all very smooth, kind of fit into each other nicely. Yeah, that's it. Otherwise, it looks like a relatively normal room.
So sorry, exits were...
There's an exit in the west wall and in the northwest corner leading north.
Okay. And stone tiles, but nothing else of note in the room?
Correct.
I'll kind of...
I don't think Kral's got the savvy, but Steve is going, it's a trap!
Well, I was... yes, perhaps I will prod at the first tile with the umbrella that I still have out.
Okay. As you do so, one by one, certain stone tiles lift slightly, and as they do so, each of them lets out a little musical trill. They do so kind of like in an order, and the trills form a little lovely melodic pattern, a little dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, and then they stop.
Delightful.
Were you keeping track of the? You're good with songs, aren't you? That one you played earlier was really quite rousing. Those stone those stone slabs. They seem to. Do you think you can you remember that tune? Can you maybe play it back if we take the right path on the tiles?
Can I, Matt? Like, I assume yes, but I don't know what that is.
Possibly. You'd probably have to hear it again, I imagine.
Yeah. Could you poke that first tile again?
I will poke the first tile.
And it does indeed do exactly the same thing again. Kra, what do you think what skill do you think you'd roll to produce perfect pitch and replicate the tune?
So I have a proficiency in sea shanties, although admittedly this is not necessarily a shanty.
It's definitely not a sea shanty.
So whether that's applicable as a proficiency,
I think it's either going to be tinker or maybe in perception.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say inspire, but I think inspire is more about how you play the thing.
Yeah, it's not like replicating a little tune or whatever.
Yeah, so I'll probably be going with perception then.
Okay, then go ahead and give it a go.
Cool. Yeah. I rolled a 1, so that's a 3 in total. I think that's probably worth a quest point to at least see if we can get a plus out of that.
I mean, 3 would be a failure with a plus.
Oh, so it would. No, hang on. Oh, no, I got a 3. My perception 2, and I rolled a 1. So my total is 3. A quest point would put it up to a... sorry.
Which result.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Sure. You produce what can only be described as a series of musical farts from your hurdy-gurdy. It's not nice. It's bad, in fact. But both of the others, I'm going to say that if you wanted to go kind of, it's definitely not that. It's more like this and like whistle the tune. I'll give you a +1 to it. Just kind of like, you know how sometimes it takes someone else getting something wrong to realize, like, no, it's not that, it's this.
Most of the internet knows that.
Yeah, sure. But unlike them, this actually does help you and moves you towards the truth. Yeah.
Sure. I'll give that a go. I've got 0 perception, 0 bonus, but that wasn't quite right. I think it was rather like this, and I rolled a 9.
Okay, yeah. And how are you replicating it? Are you whistling it? Are you like just sort of do do do?
Yes, a sort of a whistle, sort of.
Okay. You whistle out the tune, and I can't remember what tune I did. But Steve, do you want to give us a little whistly tune?
Oh, Jesus.
Any little nice whistly tune? No. Okay. Does anyone else want to give us a little whistly tune to symbolize? Does anyone want to take over Ogram for a few seconds and whistle a little tune? Whistle for me, all of you.
Oh,
I don't know how well my microphone will cope with whistling.
That's one way of finding out.
I didn't intend to whistle that when I started.
Ogram,
it fits.
Ogram has clearly nailed it, at least enough for whatever this room's device is. The tiles on the floor click around like a child's puzzle box to reveal a little, like clearly one of the tiles is like slid under the wall or something. One of the tiles is now not there, is empty, and there is a little compartment underneath where it was with a tarnished silver key.
There we go. And I'll step in and take the key.
Mm-hmm. The tiles no longer move. You seem to have stilled the music.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
West or north? Or back the way you came, I suppose.
Well, west seems to be faring fairly well for us. But if we go north, there might be more east.
There might be. I suspect if for purple were here, they would argue for north. So I suspect that would be the consensus.
Yeah, let's go north.
Okay. Then you go through the north passage and you go that way for about 8 meters before you reach what seems to be a long corridor running west to east. The stone on the walls looks to be in maybe slightly better condition. You think this might be because the stone was higher quality rather than because it's weathered. That's why it's weathered time better rather than that it looks taken care of or anything. You can see down. You're roughly kind of in the middle-ish of this east-west corridor. You can see at either end, the corridor seems to turn north. And the full length of the corridor you're in is about, I think I worked it out as 20 meters. So it's quite lengthy. Yes, it's about 20 meters. Does that description make sense? I would also like everyone to do a reactive perception check.
Is that just a perception check, or is there a special?
Yes.
Right.
No, I just mean just tell me if you succeed. I don't know the results.
Success is 6
Yeah.
plus, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I failed.
Okay. Well, then, Ogram and Gra, you hear what sounds like a fairly nearby echoing from down the corridor, although you can't actually tell the direction because the acoustics are a bit weird in here. we've got Sam. There we go. You are in a long corridor, Sam. You went through a musical room where a key was recovered.
Good job, folks.
So, Krah and Ogram, you hear an odd rumbling, kind of squeaky, creaking noise coming from somewhere down the corridor, but you can't tell if it's east or west. It's definitely not in sight, so presumably whatever it is, it's coming from round those corners leading north.
Can I examine the floor to see whether there are any sort of tracks or disturbances or...
Yeah, you know what? Give me either a perception or a wilderness roll.
Four.
I'm going to say you can't see anything, but on reflection, you think that the noise is coming maybe from the west. And it also seems to be coming closer.
There's something heading towards us, I think, from that direction. Do we want to have a look, or do we want to avoid it for now?
Is it a bad noise?
It's a grinding, scraping noise, was it? I forget.
Creaking, rumbling, squeaky. You know, it sounds a bit mechanical, I suppose.
It's not telling bad jokes anyway, so
Not
It's an
yet.
improvement. Well, I mean, the treasure is to the east, isn't it?
apparently so.
Yes.
So we don't need to bother with it, because whatever it is, it's not treasure.
But it might tell us where the treasure is, actually.
That's true.
If we go east, we might find the treasure.
But there could be a lot of different bits of east.
It's true.
Perhaps we can have a look and then come back.
I'm going to be sneakity peek.
Okay, so you're going to sneak to the west and see if you can see what it is.
Yes.
Okay, give me a sneak roll.
Perfect. And we'll do that. I think that's just a +2. 9.
Okay. You kind of squidgily sneak sort of off to the west to where the corridor turns north. And you see a couple of things. First off, in this, what you look at basically is another long corridor. Which is also about 20 meters running to the north. It has an entrance to the west, leading off partway down it, and trundling along it at a modestly slow speed are two relatively large mechanical contraptions. They have kind of spindly upper bodies that are sort of humanoid, but kind of no kind of features other than a slightly domed head. They are trundling forwards on sort of like they're made of a kind of like dark steelish iron material. They are trundling forwards on kind of like just like polished metal balls that are fixed into a frame at the bottom of them. They both also have very notably sharp axes extending in one kind of limb from the side of their spindly bodies. They haven't noticed you because you rolled stealth.
Otherwise, there's no obvious, really nice shiny thing that means we definitely should go this way.
No.
Okay.
They are coming towards you slowly.
Yeah. I'll sneak back before they come any closer and say, I don't think we should go that way. Big mechanical things, big axes, don't like it. I shall up.
Okay.
East it is then.
Okay. You kind of wander off to the east, and basically, by the time you reach the end of the eastern part of the corridor, the two mechanical things are definitely visible at the far west of here. Are we nipping into this north part of are we going north before they can kind of register that we're there?
Yeah, I will.
Is that the idea?
Hurry people on if they seem like
Okay. In that case, this eastern end where the corridor turns north is also about 20 meters long. You may be getting a sense of what this corridor is doing. About 4 meters north of where you are, in the west wall, is a very large black metal door. It has 10 keyholes in it.
the door. I slurp. And then I probably looked at Kra and go, "How many keys did we have, Kra?"
6.
Ah.
I guess we need
Everyone looks at Ogrim.
4 more keys.
Well, we should probably let's continue north, shall we? We don't want to bump into those mechanical objects just yet before we've got a full complement of keys.
Okay. Can I look at the map as well while we?
Yeah.
No.
Right, look. So, where are we? So, look, we started here, and that was okay. And then we sort of went across, and then down. The tree room was a bit confusing.
Okay.
And then we came down here. That's the mushroom room, and then we sort of came along the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
But my scale's wrong, so I've had to. This is supposed to go straight north, but if it did that, it would go through the tree room. So I've had to put a little corner in it. And if this is a square, it's also going to cross through another corner. It's gone bad. It's gone bad, everyone.
I mean, I've kind of, this is in pencil, so I don't know whether this is.
Yeah, you've drawn it.
That looks better.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
I will gladly say that comparing it to my maps, Steve's is a bit more accurate. But I think Steve's is still a pretty good job.
I think I think the scale must have gone wrong in that part where we were heading west.
Sure. Yeah. So what's the plan? The trundling noise is definitely approaching.
Move the other way.
So carry on, kind of going round to the exit you saw on that west.
I guess so. Yeah.
Side. Is that the idea? Okay. Well, see what's in the north corridor first, right?
Yeah.
There are no other exits in this.
There are no other exits in the east. In the eastern. Well, I think you know what I mean. Okay. The trundling noise is audibly getting louder and speeding up as you approach that north corridor. The north corridor, unsurprised, it is a square. It goes all around in a square of like 20 meters per side. That trundling noise is getting a lot louder and faster.
Did we trip anything, or was there like any? We didn't see them come close to us. Okay.
Perhaps we should hurry up. Perhaps
run/slurp faster.
Yes.
Okay. Can you all give me an athletics roll, please? I'm looking for the majority of you to succeed on this. So I guess we can only have one failure.
3.
6.
3.
Oh gosh.
Well, that's that then.
I used to like D12s, but I've gone right off them.
I got a 4.
Well, definitely not then. So basically, as you're like jogging along this kind of northern corridor to the east, you become aware the trundling noise behind you is getting louder and louder and louder and louder. And anyone who looks over their shoulder can see these spindly, kind of orbed mechanical things. They look similar to things the Scrim make called sputter guards, but these look older and a bit more intimidating, if you're honest. Anyway, they're almost on you, and they're waving their axes around in quite a threatening way. So, what are we doing? We are going into combat phases. First of all, Parley. Is anyone going to try and get out of the situation in any particular way?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have a proficiency in impersonating, and I think I want to impersonate some kind of tunnel inspector, some form of authority figure that these things should be listening to.
Sure.
To make them stand down.
So that sounds like a charm roll to me.
Yeah,
or intimidate, I suppose. Charm or intimidate.
Let's go with charm.
Charm. I'm going to apply. What am I going to apply to this? I definitely think that there's some minuses to be taken here. Let me just refresh my memory on exactly how. What guidance for modifiers the whole thing says.
I suspect one of the modifiers will be a negative modifier, axe to the face.
Okay, I think it's I think it's unlikely to work, but it is a nice plan. I'm going to put a -2 on it, so I'm not going to go the full -3.
Okay, that cancels out my charm, so it's just a flat roll.
Just a flat roll.
So yeah, What are you doing with tunnel inspectors? When your boss hears about this, stand down.
Sure.
And I roll a 12.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. They come to a halt and they make at first an odd kind of chugging, whirring noise, and then one of them says in an oddly accented speech, apologies. Did not recognize.
Well, that's okay. Just don't let it happen again.
Orders, orders, orders.
Just chill out. Just hang about. I don't think there's any need for any guard duty for a while.
Going inert. Clunk. They both kind of go and just kind of like rock slightly on the orbs.
That's that then.
Fuck that combat, I guess. No. No. It's good. It's what it's all for.
I think there's a lot of looking at you incredulously, crap.
What? You always need a bard with a tendency towards subterfuge. You learned that in the first week in adventuring school, I imagine.
Nice. Yeah, let's proceed. Are we still proceeding to that kind of western exit from this square corridor? Yeah,
I don't really want to try and get past these things, so
yeah, that's fine. So it's about halfway in that kind of western side of this square corridor, as I said, and it is a corridor that leads on for maybe about it's pretty short, maybe 2 meters or so. It opens up to a fairly large room. It is 10 meters by 10 meters. And as you step into it, you do kind of like stumble essentially across. It looks like some kind of mausoleum. All of the walls have kind of sarcophagi, all in them kind of mounted into the wall and kind of fixed in place. Also, you have stumbled across a very silent group of individuals who seem to be going about the business of trying to ransack the sarcophagi. One of them whirls round on you, wielding a curved, kind of oddly shaped spear, and hisses. This is because they are a type of folk called Sarpathi. Sarpathi are known. Let's roll some. Now, is this law or is this realms? Let me just have a quick check on the guidance for those. Can everyone give me just a kind of reactive check on realms, please?
2.
Yeah, I failed with 2.
Does anyone succeed? Is that a straight up no? Oh, you're on mute. Sorry, Stephen.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, well, you were.
Okay. Yes,
So
I rolled 11.
yeah, so the Sarpathi are kind of fairly well known for being having an organization called the Cult of Ek that rise from the Underlands in search of strange relics associated with their ancient serpent god. More so than any other faction in the Mucklands, the Cult of Ek are known to be ruthless and evil. There are 4 Sarpathi. One of them is wearing like one of them is wearing that kind of like crossed guards with the skulls on the shoulders you can see there in the image. The others look a bit smaller and maybe lower ranking. They are grabbing their weapons. 2 of them are grabbing bows. 2 of them are grabbing spears. They seem to be like you know. They seem to be about to try and kill you.
Well,
Oh, thank goodness we found you. I think Ek went that way.
Sure. We are, however, going into parley. Does anyone want to try and parley with the Sarpathi?
I guess that's my attempt.
That is your attempt? Sure.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. So that's going to be charm, right?
Yeah, I suppose. Trickery.
Yeah, or trickery.
I get a better bonus from charm, to be fair, but
sure. Parleying against them has disadvantage, and
Fine.
I'm going to give you as much modifiers as it takes to get you to -3.
okay.
Wow.
Okay, so
the bestiary makes it very clear that they're like
cool.
Evil kill on sight.
Disadvantage -3.
Yeah.
So we get an 8, so that would be a 5, and then we get a 4, which would be a 1. That's a complete failure. Yeah.
Yeah. They give no shits. They have parley 1, so that's that. And they're coming for you. Does anyone want to use their action to improvise anything?
No,
Remember, you don't get to attack if you do that, but you can try something.
Yeah, I'll just be readying for combat.
I think I might use Disappearing Act. Make a sneak check to disappear, hide in plain sight. I'm not with a plan. I'm not just planning on running away entirely.
Okay.
It's like it says once every session, hide in plain sight, even in seemingly impossible circumstances. Sneak check. So I will do that.
Okay.
Sneak +2. Oh, having dice rollers is so much slower than having dice. 6. That's an 8.
Okay, so that's a success. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, I have disappeared from their view. They don't know I'm here, but you.
Success. It's a success with a twist. So I don't know what to make of that twist.
Everyone else doesn't know where I've gone as well.
Yeah, sure. There we go. Great suggestion. So let's go with that. Okay. Anyone going to run?
Only towards them. If they're evil, then
yeah, fair enough.
You know, they need smiting. That's what I would have maybe learned in night school if I'd been.
Absolutely. So let's go with initiative, please. So perception checks. What's important is whether you're 6 or over.
Am I involved in this having parlayed?
No. You've used your action.
I roll a 13, so over 6.
I rolled 2, but can I use my no hesitation skill?
I don't know, can you?
Yeah, okay, here. Okay, so many bugbears consider it unwise to think too long once. Every combat, attack first in the round.
Yeah, you can use that, I guess.
Cool.
Nice. And how did you do, Sam? Oh, no, you've gone.
I did the disappear, so
yeah
you actually went. Yeah.
Okay, Ogram. There are 3 slightly more. They're not diminutive, but there's one basically hefty Sarpathy with skulls mounted on it coming for you, or coming for the group, and there are 3 more average-looking Sarpathy.
I'll definitely aim for the hefty one. Again, trying to form some sort of barrier for anyone who wants to stay behind me.
Trying to cut the head off the snake.
There we go. So they have a defense of -1. So let's. So you can attack with and add a -1 onto.
Okay.
Attack rolls.
And I'll use my exceptional mace again. So that's 1
An
advantage.
Nice.
Okay. Well, that first roll was a 4. The second one was a 10.
Okay, so that's just a standard hit. Give me that dread roll, please.
That is going to be a 2. I'm not very good with these. Oh, well.
Okay. And you've got a mace, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you strike out with that mace and clonk the larger Sarpathy on the side. It, like one of the skulls kind of mounted on its shoulder, cracks up a bit, and it kind of like reels back and hisses at you. But you've definitely hurt it, but how much? You're not entirely sure. Judy.
I will shadow Ogrim and smack the one that he just hit
The big old
with
one.
my frying pan.
Sure. So with that in mind, let's have an attack roll and apply a -1 onto it.
That's a 5. So that is a fail.
You could spend a quest point. Remember, everyone, you've got a whole bunch of quest points. If you save them up for the end of the session, they're wasted.
I will do that.
So that's an attack with a counter attack, right?
Yes.
I believe. Okay, so give me, I believe, an attack roll, a dread roll at disadvantage.
Okay. Four.
Okay. You thwack the thing over the head with your frying pan. It gives out another guttural hiss, but still seems to be coming to jab at the pair of you with its curvy spear. So let's see how we do this. Okay, yeah, so that's once every round. Yeah, and they've got... Yeah, okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to... the 2 wielding bows are going to slip smaller snakes out of the pouch at their side, knock them to the bow, and fire them. And they're going to do that at... let's see here. They're going to do that at Kra and Ogrim. So if both of you, please, could make a... oh, no, I make the things. Sorry. What's your defense, Ogrim?
It's a -1 modifier, so I subtract 1 from your...
Yeah. So that's that averages out at a +1, which is... Oh, we should have done the counter attack on Judy.
Yes.
We'll do that after this. So that's a hit. Could you... And you don't have any block, do you?
I do not.
Okay. Then a snake nestles in amongst the fur on your shoulder, and you feel a sharp bite on right where the rat got you. You know, it's insult to injury. Take 5 dread, please.
Ow. Okay.
And also give me a vitality check.
Vitality. I rolled an 11.
Okay, then that's perfectly fine. Okay, let's do that counter attack on Judy then, shall we? So what's your defense, Judy?
+1.
So that's bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Although it's actually not that bad, because that is a failure with a plus for the counterattack from the Sarpathy. What do pluses do again on failures with pluses? Like they set you up for a better hit and stuff, don't they? So I'll just go with that. They're about to hit you again on their turn, so I'll just go with that, and they'll get a +1 to it. But Stephen, let's deal with the Sarpathy firing a snake at you. What's your defense, please?
Defense is -1.
Okay, so that's one. So that is a hit. Is it a hit with a counterattack? Seems weird if you're firing from range, but
I mean, I've got range as well.
you do have range as well, so it's is that a hit with a counterattack? 9. No, it's just a normal success. Okay. So
on range combat it just says it's slightly different. It's more difficult to hit, but the attacker cannot be counterattacked.
It says that, and then it has a oh yeah, okay. But the attacker
It's different. It's like grazing shot, hit, critical hit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see. But it was a hit anyway. So, okay. Do you have any block? No. Okay, but good news. The snake kind of like gnaws between your feathers for a second, and then drops off without being able to get a proper fanged latch in you. Take 2 dread, please. But also give me a vitality check.
Sure thing. 7.
Is that yes? Yep, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Okay, let's do the big old Sarpathy Bruiser, who is going basically the Sarpathy Bruiser. You know, Ogrim and Judy are already fighting it. It's going to use its 2 actions: 1 attack on Ogrim, 1 attack on Judy. So let's do that now. So Ogrim, your defense is a -1.
-1, yep.
Okay, so that's an 8, which is I believe you're going to get a counterattack on it after it's hit. Yes.
Cool.
So first of all, let's take some damage from it. Okay, it's jabbing at you with the spear, and it kind of bashes unpleasantly. It's more that it like just absolutely whacks you with it. And it doesn't pierce you, but it definitely kind of like leaves you staggering for 3 dread, which isn't too bad, all told.
Okay.
So you get a counterattack on it, and that counterattack will have a -1 applied to it.
Okay. So what's its modifier? Defense?
-1.
-1. Okay. So I roll a 9.
Okay, so that's going to be a hit with a counterattack again. But let's see if it gets the counterattack.
I think if it's a 9, isn't that just a hit?
I thought you said it was an 8.
No, 9. I rolled an 8 plus 1, 9.
All right, okay. Yeah, so roll your damage then, please.
Okay. 4.
Okay. You know, the thing kind of jabs at you and knocks you back. I'll tell you this: you've killed it. So you tell me what you do with that mace to thwack it to the ground.
Well, I guess so I've got a snake on me. I've been stabbed in the other shoulder with. This is just like a backhand smash. I think again a lot of sort of roaring and pained noise. But yeah, backhand smash, knocking it straight in its head.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it crumples to the ground, writhes for a second, and then goes still. There is still another Sarpathy with a spear. It's going to, I think it's reasonably speaking, either going to go and double strike Kra or going to split its attack between Ogrim and Judy just because of the way you're kind of laid out there. And that is going to be on Ogrim and Judy, which is probably for the best. So, first one, Ogrim. Again, maybe you'll get a counterattack on it. And it's going to And that's got a plus. It's got a +1 in general, so it is going to hit you, and it's going to strike you with that spear. And again, it kind of like, curls round on its coils and swings the haft of the spear at you and knocks you upside the head for 3 dread.
Okay. Well, I'm looking a little the worse for wear now, it has to be said. I have 3 remaining.
So, Judy, what's your defense again?
+1.
+1. So it has a +3 to its roll altogether. Ooh, that is a critical hit.
Ooh.
Which is a double, right? So, yep.
Yep.
Okay. Oof. So, Judy, how much courage do you have left?
12.
So the Sarpathi kind of writhes up and it swung around Frogram, knocked him to one side. And as you dive forward to try and maybe wrestle it off, your faithful knight, you realize too late that what it was doing to Ogram was a way to draw you in. It spins round and thrusts its spear through your body. Take 14 dread, please.
Ooh.
So let's quickly look at the old what happens now.
Oh, no.
So now Judy falls unconscious for D4 rounds. So do you want to roll that up, please, John?
Yeah. 1.
Well, that's good. Now you make a vitality check to resist wounds.
And I have an advantage on this because of my armor.
Nice.
My best is 12.
Well, that's great. So you don't suffer the wounded condition, basically. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so basically, Judy's going to miss his next round, right? And then you're going to wake up with, I believe it's D6 plus your level in courage.
Right.
So that's not too bad. It's not too bad. Okay, I think that's an entire round. So we move back to the beginning. Can't parley. Is anyone doing anything other than combat? Is anyone doing any improvise? Nope. Okay, and Judy isn't going at all. Is anyone running? Nope. Okay, initiative rolls, please.
Uh, 10.
I got a 5, but I
got a
really
5.
like to go. If I up it to a 6, is that?
Yeah, that would move you ahead of the Sarpathi.
Yeah, I'll do that. 6.
Yeah, you're doing the same, Steve.
I think I will, yes.
Yeah, it seems appropriate. Kra, it's your turn.
Great. I think. So how many are about now?
There are 2 that are wielding bows against you, and one with a spear who's just stabbed Judy in a rather unpleasant way.
Well, I think one of the bow ones targeted me, so I am gonna target them back with my hurdy-gurdy. So remember, that's just an attack roll, right?
Yeah, it's just an attack roll, and you can apply -1 to it as well because of Sarpathi defense.
Okay, so that's 6. That's 5 in total. So that's a miss with a plus. But if I
spend a quest point
to put it up to a 6, which is a grazing shot. Let's do that.
What does a grazing shot actually do?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's 1 damage, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a miss with a plus, and the ranged attacker also grazes the target, inflicting 1 dread.
Yeah, 1 dread.
Okay. And it's also a miss with a plus. Do you have any notion of what that plus might be?
Perhaps as the Sarpathi goes to, well, it's not really a dodge, is it? Because I'm not firing anything. But perhaps shaking its head, trying to kind of get the
It's going to
sound
be
out of its ears. It's distracted.
difficult for it to fire another snake.
Yeah. Temporary distraction would be nice.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine, and it's kind of like shaking its head in dismay at your hurdy-gurdy noise. Again,
Extreme gurdy.
Said before in history, who knows? So now we're on to Flurple.
Cool. So Flurple has slurpily sneaked around the back and is intending to leap upon one of the ones firing with their bow with a pickaxe to the back of the head.
Okay. Is it the one reeling from Kra's music or the other one?
The one reeling.
Okay. So why don't you give me an attack roll, please?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just flat. It's whatever your modifiers are. There's no modifiers from me.
That's a 4. I'm going to use my cool thing. Just because it's fun. It's probably a terrible idea. But once every session, re-roll a check. But if the results is equal or lower, the bad consequences are worse than normal.
Okay.
Screw it. Let's not get lower than that. I rolled a 1.
Oh my god.
Oh,
that
dear.
is 2 in total. It's just perfection.
Amazing.
I am a gambler
amazing.
after all. That is my character's thing.
And a bad gambler.
And a bad gambler. I feel like I'm going to get my quest point for bet against the odds bad gambling for this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Basically, what's happened here is that you have kind of slurped onto the back of this big snake, and now the two of you are just kind of like, the snake's trying to get its coils out of your goo. You're trying to you have missed it, and also it's become very hard for someone else to hit it.
Okay.
So there we go. Okay. Ogram.
Right, okay. Well, I'm just going to bellow and aim for the one that hit Judy.
Just thwack the one that...
Yeah,
that hit Judy. Okay. Why don't you then give me an attack roll, and you can apply a -1 to it from the psychopathic on top of whatever you have.
I get that is a 6.
So that's a hit with a counterattack. Give me a dread roll, please.
Yikes, this could get a little bit spooky. That was a 6.
It does not get spooky because you whack the Sarpathy along the side of its tapered snout, and it reels back either unconscious and dead and collapses on the floor.
Phew. Well, I will sort of step again just towards Judy and try and protect him from any other oncomers.
Absolutely. So we have a couple of Sarpathy left. One of them, the one wrestling Purple is clearly going to just try and stab Purple. It's got a disadvantage though because of Kra's thing. Purple, what's your defense again?
-2.
-2. Okay, so that leads it down to a 5. No, it doesn't. It leads it down to a 6 because it has...
No.
Or 7, actually, because it's just flat because it's got a +2. So it does get a hit with a counter attack. So you can hit it back. And
I have no defense.
No block. Okay, and how many courage do you have left?
10.
Okay. Well, it jams its spear in you, and you're lucky that you're made of goo, because that means it only does 7 dread.
Okay.
But you do get a counter attack.
My goo is looking very peaky.
Again, something you don't hear very often.
Yeah. Your counter attack can apply a -1 to whatever other things you have.
Okay, cool. So I think that's a flat roll for an attack. Okay, that is a 7. Which does at least hit. And the one, so I roll the damage and then it's disadvantage. That's what we decided for improvise.
No, I said other people. So not you. Just roll your damage. Roll your dread. I mean,
6.
you don't actually have to because it has 1 left. But
okay. I rolled a 6 as well.
Yeah, you jam your pickaxe in the thing's head. It all goes a bit floppy. And it is down. And I think if there is one Sarpathi left, they will take a metal check. Which they succeed. So they remain with us. And they're going to get all snake arrowy, I suppose. And they're going to do it on Kra. It's probably actually the most positive choice. Kra, what's your defense?
-1.
And they hit.
Great.
They hit.
0 block.
Yep. How much courage have you got left?
12.
Okay. You get a snake to the face. It's pretty bad.
No!
It's kind of whipping around, attached between your eyes, and it manages to inflict 7 dread on you.
Oof.
Could you make
That's exactly where I don't like having snakes attached.
Could you make a vitality check, please?
Yeah. Sorry, Matt. I was just role playing for a moment there, but yeah, I've lost some dice. 10.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
Okay. Next round. Anyone improvising? Okay. John, do you want to give a D6 roll and add 1 to it?
I rolled a 4, so that's 5.
5. Okay, can everyone do their initiative, please?
12.
10.
12.
Oh.
9.
Okay. For purple, your go.
So purple is going to, despite looking unhappy, going to charge the remaining snake person in the back with the pickaxe.
Okay. Could you give me an attack and you can put a -1 on top of it?
Sure. Another flat attack. And it's a miss. 5.
Okay, that's a miss with a plus, though. So I'm going to say the impact of your gooey gelatinous body on the thing's back sends it, knocks it and makes it easier for the next person to hit. And the next person is Kra.
Yeah, gonna bang out a particularly aggressive old shanty called "Don't Want No Snakes in My Hold." I'm gonna keel haul them. It's a
nice
toe tapping classic.
Definitely. Sure. Do you want to
do an attack roll?
Yeah, make an attack -1, but you can have advantage.
Okay, so that's either an 8 or it's an 8. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a hit. Give me that dread roll.
Do 4 dread. Yes. No, hang on. It's D4
plus 1, isn't it? Or something? Is it?
No, sorry. That's the +1 for the invigorate.
The
no,
healing,
it's just D4. 3.
Okay. The final Sarpathi kind of writhes around in displeasure at the sound of your hurdy-gurdy and sort of does the snake equivalent of taking to its heels and rides off into one of the exits from the room, like the one not past you, and off and away.
Flip-lurple schlumps into a little puddle-ish thing. It's worth noting, I feel like when I'm low on courage, it's like when I've been injured, I'm just a bit smaller. There's a bit less goo.
Sure. So there are 3 dead Sarpathi on the ground, a bunch of battered in sarcophagi, which seem to mainly just have bones in them. And the only other thing in the room is a snakeskin satchel, which the apparent leader of the Sarpathi dropped as they advanced with their spear.
Is it the case that I can spend a quest point to do a little ditty again?
I don't know
once per session out of conflict is the word.
Does it say once every session or once per
once
session?
Per session?
That's annoying because that isn't a term the game uses, according to the game. I mean, it says once every session and not each session. So yes, you can spend a quest point to use it again.
I'm going to do that. So I'm down to 1 quest point, and I'm going to roll D12 plus Inspire, which is +3. Roll a 5. So everybody can invigorate 8 courage.
That's
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
There we go. Hopefully that's everyone more or less back to... Don't Kick Food, by the way, says that he feels you should have to play the hurdy-gurdy on stream for the in-game effects.
I have one. I don't know how to play it.
Don't make him. Don't make him do it.
Be careful what you wish for. I think is
Yeah.
Let's not do this.
In addition to the things I've described, by the way, there is an exit to the northeast, the one the Sarpathy left through that runs north.
Well,
is that the only exit apart from the way we came in?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
At the dearth of anyone else doing it, I'm going to go have a look in that satchel.
There are a number of things in it that are probably Sarpathy food, so I'm imagining a bunch of like dead mice and rodents of various kinds, and tucked in amongst that unpleasant luncheon is a tarnished silver key.
I will hold it up happily, slime all over it, and then give it to Kra. And I will also slime all over the mice and give some to Judy.
Thanks.
Seems to like the rats.
Thank you. I have no recipes for this, but I'll try and improvise.
Look, we have a sterling history of rats in one-shots, so...
how's Judy doing on health, by the way?
Judy's on 13 out of 15, so,
Right.
he's looking fairly confident now that he's picked himself up off the floor.
Yeah, the spear stab was only really a flesh wound, clearly.
He's got a hole in his apron, and he's not too happy about it, other than that.
Who would be? Okay.
I'm going to look in the sarcophagi.
Sure. They're full of bones and dust.
It's about what I expected.
Oh, are the spears that the snake people were using, are they something we can pick up, or are they not really usable?
They absolutely are a thing you can pick up.
I'll grab myself a snake person spear then. It's probably a bit big for me, but why not?
That's fine.
I'll grab myself a spear as well. Probably the one that stabbed me.
Yeah, they're just standard weapons.
How much do they weigh from an inventory slot point of view?
However much other weapons tend to weigh, which I realise is.
I got a fitting pole which counts as 2, so I guess that's probably comparable, right?
Yeah.
I will too.
Well, I'll say, you know what? I'll say they're actually 2-handed melee weapons, so they inflict +1 dread.
+1 dread. Yeah, I guess I'll pick one up. That is all I can carry, though.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, each of them had one of those, so there are 3 left. Should we want to use them? Okay. What are we doing?
Going out the other entrance, I suppose. Don't have 10 keys, do we?
Nope. How many do you have? Do you have 7 then?
7, I think it's. Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7.
Okay. So you the passage in the northeast corner leads north for about 10 meters and then leads west for probably about 6 meters until it opens up into a relatively large room, 8 meters wide by 10 meters deep. The room is coated all over the walls, but not particularly the center, in deep and very messy and stranded and drifting in a slight air spider's webs. Visible, glinting in a mass of them on the north wall is, say it with me, a tarnished silver key. Yeah. There's also an exit in the east wall.
Can we see or hear any spiders?
Nope.
And is the key like reachable? Or is it like...
Yeah, it's reachable if you do something to get it. So it's going to require a skill check, is what I'm saying. Of some form. Because you got to, like, untangle the massive spider webs.
Sorry, quick map check again. So there was a corridor north, and then it turned west.
Turned east.
Turned east. That's where I went wrong.
I may have, if I may have said it wrong.
I drew it going west as well.
I probably said it wrong then.
I will volunteer to sneakity slurp in that direction and then try and nimble my jelly appendages to get it.
Try and nimble my jelly. Okay, so that's a nimbleness roll to try and like sort of slip your jelly through the spider web.
That's kind of
None of this sounds great at all.
Yeah, there's no modifiers for it from my end, so
cool. Okay, that's just a +2 then. Let's see how that goes. That's a 7.
Okay, that's a success with a twist. I'm going to say that the twist is that you end up with all your goo coated in spider webs. So for the rest of the session, if there's anything I think that will affect negatively, you're going to get a negative effect from it.
Okay,
I'm basically coated with spider webs and will be until the end of the session.
Got it. So it's just bits of spiderweb kind of floating on the surface.
Yeah.
Of the,
And I encourage your fellow players to go, I think that Sam would get a disadvantage from spider webs whenever they think that's applicable.
Okay. I'll come out. I'll come back out with a silver key, but I look kind of dismayed at being all spider webby.
Yeah. And like I say, there's an exit to the east.
Well, the treasure is always east. I'm sure those webs will brush off for purple. All right.
Maybe try picking at some as the purple goes past.
Yeah, sure.
I can't imagine how unpleasant picking spiders.
Yeah, it's probably.
I'll get some on me.
Yeah, exactly. It won't come off you. That's it. It's like
horrible.
Scraping my hand down the walls.
Yeah. Okay, we're heading east.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, only about 2 meters through that corridor, you come to a room. It's about 8 meters wide and 3 meters deep. It is mostly empty. It seems to be maybe a quite a well-trodden causeway overhead, because you can see quite a lot of people kind of walking over the glass panels and the roof. The only things you can see in the room is what appears to be a small camp, a very Spartan camp, with no tents or anything like that, just maybe a small little remains of a fire and a couple of oddly long and thin bedrolls. There is another snakeskin satchel plonked next to one of the bedrolls. There's also exits to the north and to the east.
I will peek into the satchel.
Inside the satchel are 2 things. One of them, can you tell me what one of them is, please, John?
Is it a tarnished silver key?
It is. Also in it are what appears to be a bundle of mining explosives.
I could have sworn you were going to say bundle of mice. So that's a lovely surprise.
I'll hold on to those, I think.
Absolutely.
Sticking my head round the exit to the east, and this is purely a map thing, is the room to the east the room we started in?
You're doing all the mapping in future, Steve. You've dug this hole for yourself.
No.
I sort of had it.
Hey, there we go. There we go. Yeah, it is. It is the room where you started. The room with
thank
the,
God,
where
'cause
the
otherwise
with the spring traps and stuff. Yep.
otherwise I would have been entirely screwed.
Correct. Which means the places you haven't gone that you could now go that are near you are the north exit to this room with the Sarpathy camp and the north exit to the first room you're in. Which would be, I suppose, more eastern if our party has collectively decided.
We do that one.
Okay. Is this a reference that I'm not getting?
No, I'm just
No.
being strange.
Okay.
It's just specific.
Okay.
It's that weird phenomenon where I think it takes like if you hear something 3 times, it suddenly becomes true.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And Flipurple has just squelched it 3 times, so it's true.
Exactly.
Sure, absolutely.
I don't think any of us know any better, right? And actually, it's worked out quite well so far.
Sure. So, with that in mind, you go back to that first room, kind of hop your way between the spring traps on the floor, and you go through a corridor that leads north for about 4 meters. It leads to a room that is 6 meters wide and 4 meters deep. And within this room is what appears to be there's a passageway to the west. There's what seems to be a door to the north, because there's usually not doors in these passageways, but this one has a door. And there is a large statue in the corner of a golden gator. It is kind of hunched over. So the head and the jaws are kind of like protruding out into the room. There is
Which corner?
the northeast. There is old carved graffiti to one side of the gator that says, "My hand hurts." The gator's mouth is partly ajar with a shining weird gem in its jaws.
I'm going to get my walking stick, and I'm going to use it to try and knock the gem out of the gator's mouth.
Sure.
I'm going to use my talent, he says, which is Inspiring Orders, which is an Inspire check, twice a session on a 6+. I can grant 2 to an ally's check before rolling.
So tell us how you're inspiring Judy with his pokey walking stick plan.
Yeah.
First of all, I need to roll 6+. I do. I roll an 8. Okay, nice. So you've got this, Judy. You're really dexterous with that walking stick.
Thank you, Ogrum.
Just compliment Judy. That sounds effective.
Again,
I'm proud of you.
Again, shipping it. So, could you give me a nimbleness roll then? And I believe that'll add +2 on top of whatever you have from Ogrum. Remember, it caps at 3. So, you're on mute, John.
My nimbleness is a -2, so with Ogrum's help, I'm rolling a flat.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Because he's the one with the stick.
We all have spears.
That's a 9.
That's a 9. You poke the gem. It topples off to the side and lands on the ground with a smashing sound, and the entire thing scatters over the ground. Let me roll something here. Oh, yeah. That was a nice walking stick you had. But at least it wasn't your arm, as the gator's mouth snaps shut. And 2 things happen. Number 1, the door to the north clicks as if opened. And number 2, a little hatch opens on the gator's big round belly, and a little tarnished silver key. Well, not a little one, really. A tarnished silver key rolls out and clonks onto the floor.
I will slurp 10.
Hooray!
Do I think that if I could tinker with this walking stick, I would be able to repair it at some later point.
No, it's smashed in half.
It's okay. Yeah, I like
I will.
that walking stick.
I will pat you on the back and hand you mine.
I mean, clearly not that much. You just thrust it into a trap.
I mean, I like it less than I like my hand.
Everyone has spears.
We found that 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, fair. Also, while looking at my inventory to see what I could use to poke stuff out, I've realized I've had a knife this entire time.
Oh my God. Amazing. So, all right.
I would...
Spears are not for removing gems from crocodilian statue mouths. That's clearly the job of a walking stick.
That's true. It's what they were made
for. Like, what good are spears here?
Oh yeah, that's how the typology of those things work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would like to slurp up to the door that clicked and have a little investigate.
Just have a little poke through. Just have a little look through. Yeah, sure. What you see is a corridor of about 4 meters leading to a room. Are we slurping close enough to just look in the room, I'm assuming?
Yeah, if it doesn't seem dangerous, at least have a look.
Sure. It is a room of 6 meters wide by 8 meters deep. There is another door that looks quite similar to the door you just passed through on the north end of it. In front of it is what appears to be a old, withered phantom knight composed of spectral green light. He kind of is sat on a little stool next to the door, and he sees you kind of poke your head through the passageway and goes, "Hello."
Schlurp, hello.
What? I have a quandary.
Have the others followed me?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Especially if I hear, voices.
Mm-hmm.
What is a good password to use?
Password for what, I Schlurp?
For the door. I need a password for it, but no one ever told me one.
Well, I hear you should make sure it's over 9 letters and contains at least one number and special punctuation. But I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that.
I can't remember all that. I just need a word. What's a good word for a password?
Have you tried password?
No, and I don't think I should. Have any of the others of you got a suggestion?
How about Verschlubbelische?
That's
Have any of the others of you got a suggestion?
I mutter Schlurp to myself. No one would ever guess that.
I think no one can understand that for Plurple.
You know what it's like when someone asks you to think of something and all I've got in my head is beetroot.
Never liked beetroot.
Well, what do you like?
Well, the usual things someone of my standing would like. He doesn't seem to be about to answer the riddle for you. Not that it's a riddle, but if you go, well, what password do you want to use? And he says it, that's not really in keeping with the whole thing.
I know, it's like, what is there anything about him that, I know he's
green spectral knight.
Yeah, green spectral knight.
It's a bit old and withered.
Mm-hmm. Is he human?
You know what? Let me make a roll and see what. I mean, this in turn will tell you that it doesn't matter.
Clearly, this isn't important.
But out of interest, he is or was. Oh my God! Come on. Yes. Weirdly, yes, human. I literally just rolled it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I guess I'll look him up and down and say,
"You've had your go. You've had your go."
Okay.
You said beetroot.
Haven't we all had a go now?
No, Judy hasn't.
Ah,
You come up with an actual word.
No, you just tried to
advice.
like incel mind game him or whatever.
I thought he was legitimately asking.
Tried to neg him.
Advice. I was trying to help. Green spectral night. I can't think of an appropriate pun. I think I will just shrug.
Not everything is a pun. Sure.
No, it's a riddle, so it's a pun.
I mean, it is a riddle. It's not like there's no secret password you have to guess. He is asking for a password that he would like.
Can I nudge Judy and whisper something, or would that be?
I mean, you can try it and see what happens.
I'll give it a go. Judy, he's
no cheating. You each have one guess. That's fair. Fairness is important.
I will quietly shuffle outside and go like, once I'm out of the room.
I don't think I can leave and come back.
I'm absolutely going to leave because with the proficiency in impersonating, I think I'm going to come back with like a false moustache or something.
Oh, amazing. No. Sorry, I'm late.
Jousting?
Give me a charm roll.
I can do that. That's a 12.
Oh, I used to love a good joust. Yes, that will do. He blinks for a moment and kind of almost seems to forget that you were there and looks up and says, "What's the password?"
Jousting.
Correct. You may pass. He gestures to the door behind him and it opens with a click. Inside is a fairly small pantry-sized chamber full of nothing but dust and a tarnished silver key.
I will take
collecting them all, are we?
Even though I don't need it, I want it, so I'll take it, and then I will say to the knight, now that someone else knows your password, remember to change it.
Oh no.
If you need help, I'm sure the next people along can help you with it.
He seems to be in some kind of personal quandary at this. He's been waiting centuries to come up with a password, and now it's done. Okay. Are we going for the 100% achievement?
I would like to flirt.
There might be a door behind that door with another 10.
You're right. I think it was more that we didn't know what was through there.
Yeah. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Let's go back to the other bit.
We've got one case of memento,
Yeah. So we're retreating to back all the way to where the door was, I assume. And well, you're there. A few minutes later, you have 10 keys, 10 keyholes.
I will start putting keys into keyholes.
Absolutely. They all slide in with a satisfying click and a clunk. They're all in the keyholes.
I will then turn them all.
Again, very satisfying clunking noises.
Oh, that's nice.
Followed by a big old click, and the door eases ajar.
Well, hopefully this is treasure and not immediate death.
Would you like me to go first in case it is immediate death?
No.
That's excessively honourable of you.
Well, I mean, you're a knight. You're a noble bard. You've got a hard hat. I'm just a baker. There's lots of bakers in the world.
I'm just like,
well,
I hope I don't die. But
the world needs baked goods, Judy. what you do is just as important as questing and filling hearts with song and wearing correct protective equipment.
Well, that's very nice of you to say.
I'll give you a slimy slap on the back.
I am also the only one wearing armor.
Oh, yeah, you go first then, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what is inside the doorway is a very short corridor, almost short as to not be a corridor at all. And it leads to a central chamber that seems to pretty much occupy the entire interior of this kind of square of corridors. It's very large, and there are kind of obviously multiple panels along the top illuminating the entire thing. It is a huge room that clearly at one point was some kind of treasure chamber. Now it has mostly collapsed into a thoroughly dark sinkhole at the center of the floor. Only a single small pile of treasures remains just on the edge of it. And from the hole is coming a honking, sniffling, snoring noise.
I'm gonna peek over the side of the hole very quietly.
Very quietly. Well, if you're doing it very quietly, then can you please make a sneak roll, and I'll add a -1 onto whatever you're doing.
Then I will be doing it slightly less quietly than I thought I was, because I have a deficiency in sneak as well.
Oh no. So that's a disadvantage and -1 added to whatever you have.
My worst roll was a 10, so that's an 8. 8 overall.
Good. Pretty good. Somewhere down the hole on this kind of side of it is a big bundle of a real big bundle of purple fur. It's kind of like every snore of is kind of vibrating.
I wave the rest of the group in and go,
Sure.
Okay.
You said there was treasure up here.
Mhm.
Like, can we start quietly taking treasure?
Yeah, you can try and sneak over quietly. You're gonna have to roll sneak to get over to the treasure pile, and then every time you do a search will also require a sneak roll.
Does my cobwebs affect this at all? It's probably not making me loud.
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
No. So everyone who wants to sneak over to the treasure pile, I'll say that Judy can be at it. It's only a couple of steps away from where you are. But anyone who wants to go over to the treasure pile needs to roll sneak for me at a -1.
Okay, I got a 10 for sneak. No, sorry, I got a 12 for sneak because I got +2.
I am not good at sneaking, so I will be, I think, just keeping a guard on
Sure.
things.
Well, I don't think it can't have been a 12, right? If it had a -1 on it. Can it?
Sorry, 11.
Yeah, I feel like the more of us that try to sneak over there, the more chance of things going wrong. So I'm going to stay very still.
Sure. I would flag that I believe treasure hunting searches. I don't think more than one. I think you can't have one person search repeatedly.
Wait, does treasure lore help with treasure searches?
I think it's a treasure hunt specifically as a skill thing because I have a bonus to treasure hunt.
Oh yeah, okay. So I understand. I know about treasure, but that doesn't help me find it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to leave it for purple then.
Yeah, you can only have one check per character unless there's more checks than characters.
Okay. So we might end up all going in anyway.
Well, yeah. What I'm saying is, if you want to like search this treasure pile, because this is how the treasure piles work, it is what's known as an old hoard. That means there's 3 searches of it available. It'll come with some standard stuff as well, but there's 3 searches of it available for extra stuff. And because there's 4 of you, each one has to be done by a different person.
I see.
Oh,
so
okay.
one of us. Okay, so one of us isn't going to come in. The other 3 will.
Then I will.
Yeah, sure.
Then yes, okay. Then I will try to sneak as well. I don't know if we want to deal with Sam first or.
I I mean, it's entirely up to you as a group. Do you think what action do you think comes next? Do you think it's Judy searching? Do you think it's for Plurple searching? Do you think it's Cross sneaking?
I mean, if you roleplay it, it might be that me and Judy are both treasured up and going like, "There's more to get." So it might be then Kra goes in after we search.
Yeah,
yeah,
okay,
sure.
into that because I'm hesitating initially. So like, I'll watch
Yeah.
you two. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, let's have Judy was there first, right? So let's have Judy do the first treasure search.
Well, you said treasure search requires a sneak check, right?
It will, but after the search.
I was going to just keep watch because I make noises when I move. Because the armor, I've got the disadvantage on sneak.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, we'll do it in whatever order this needs to happen then. But if everyone goes, I'm not searching, then you won't get the treasure. So for Purple, do your treasure hunt first, please.
Is it just a search roll?
It's a treasure hunting check. So what do you have as pluses or minuses to treasure hunting?
I just have the detail gem sniffing. PC gains +1 treasure hunting.
Okay, so you have +1 treasure hunting.
Cool. Otherwise, it's a flat roll. I didn't know what treasure hunting was as a roll otherwise. So.
No, it's a specific thing.
Got it. Okay, that's a 10.
That is a 10. So what that means is that you have found a 10. No, you have found a magnificent item.
Ooh.
So give me a D400 roll. Do you know how to do that?
D4, D100, I can do that.
Correct.
Let me get things. 235.
235. Okay. So that's that. Ooh. So then can you roll a D12 for me, please?
8.
You have found an exceptional maul. So that's a double-handed mace or hammer. And once every combat, you gain advantage on an attack. So it's just a complete upgrade to Steve's. But, well, I mean, it's heavier as well. It's 3 slots.
Okay. Double-handed.
So you have to make sure you can carry it.
Yeah, I've got loads of space.
And also, let's let you take one of the 3 things that always happens with a horde as well. So do you want a pouch of gold coins or do you want a component?
I'll take gold coins. I'm not
okay.
After.
And then, can you roll sneak for me, please? At a -1.
So that's just a pouch of gold coins. A pouch.
Yes. It's a usage thing. And they scale to like different levels of coin.
I got it. So that's like
the gold level.
And then a sneak. That is a +2 to sneak. My mouse thing is going weird. Stop that. Oh god, that's really annoying. Sorry, my touchpad just entirely stopped working. There we go. And that is that's not a good roll. Oh, I might use my gamble because that's a total fail. And so what I could do here is spend my last quest point to gamble to give me a full reroll.
Is that the one where if you fail...
If I fail and get a worse, which could only be a 1, it's an even worse thing. So I think I'm going to do that. My final quest point on a full reroll.
So is your gamble thing a once every session thing?
Yes. So it says once every session specifically. That. Okay, let's try again. That's better. That's a 10.
Okay, so that's a success. Okay, that odd sniffling, snoring continues. So Purple's done, basically. So
back away.
What we have is Judy can search, or Ogrim or Kra can sneak up.
Okay, if Judy and Ogrim are not looking keen to do it, then I will step in and try to sneak.
Okay. Could you give me, please, a sneak roll at a... still at a -1. Yes.
Okay, so that just comes out as a flat dice roll. Oh, no. That's a 4. It's a failure with a plus.
Okay. Yeah, and there's no way you can quest point out of that, right? Okay. The snoring stops, and over the edge of the sinkhole slowly rises first an odd purple-furred rounded head, a very large one, and then rising up over it with a massive kind of protruding fur that looks like eyebrows. It's two large greenish yellow eyes and a bulbous nose, before the whole creature heaves itself over the edge of the sinkhole, and you are quite intimidated because it's quite large, but also relieved that while it has a very large head, it doesn't exactly have a very large body to back it up.
Okay.
Can everyone give me probably a realms roll, please? Just a reflexive one.
7.
8.
Okay. Well, everyone who succeeds knows that this is called a blemmy. They're big, they're stupid, and they're mean. It glares at Kra and says, "Pretty birdie." That was your twist. It seems to have taken an odd liking to you.
Okay.
But it's also kind of flexing its arms in a way that says it doesn't like you so much as it wants to take you and put you in a cage somewhere.
Okay, so good, but not good.
Yeah. Basically, you're going to get a +1 to like some kind of social interaction with it if that's what you want to do.
I do. I guess there's no I'm not going to continue moving towards the treasure while this thing's here. We're in some form of conflict, right?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, we are going into conflict.
Cool. Yes, I would like to open that with a social a parlay roll then.
Okay, let's do that. It does have you can parley with it. What are you trying to do?
I am trying to persuade it that it is still asleep, that we are just part of its dream, and that it should probably just roll over and relax.
Sure.
There's no problem here.
It's kind of
just a dream.
Squints its massive eyes at you and goes, "Zorb still asleep?"
Ah, that's right. Yes, you're still asleep. Just roll over. Get comfortable. I have no idea what I'm rolling for this, Matt.
Zorby's tired.
Yeah, really tired.
I think that's a charm roll.
Yeah, I think so. I will even bust out a lullaby if needs be.
And I will add a +1 to it because you got the advantage.
Okie dokie.
You got that little thing.
The roll sucks though. It's a 5 in total, failure with a plus, but I guess I can quest point that. I think I will. Last quest point to put that into a success with a twist. Success with a twist. Zorb goes, maybe Zorb will try sleeping again. And he steps back over the edge, and before long there's more snoring. So the twist basically is you've convinced him to go back to sleep, but people still have to sneak to avoid waking him up again, because maybe he won't believe you a second time. Spoilers, he will not. So I'd say that you're at the treasure, though. You're at the treasure. Then I will do a treasure hunt roll. Do a treasure hunt. So unless you've got any bonuses, this is just going to be a flat roll. It's just a flat roll. Let's see what we get. The dice have been letting me down lately. That's a 3. Okay, you have a pouch of copper coins. Cool. Do you also want to? You can also take a component. You can roll for. Yeah, I'll take a component. Do you want to give me a D4 first? 4. Yep. A 1. And then a what's this? D100, please. Okay. Well, I roll a 9 and an 8, so however that translates. 98. Yeah.
So those of you pull out basically a bunch of thick, bushy, reddish tufts of fur that are pretty well preserved. Those of you from the Drippy Downs recognize it as wungalope fur, a useful crafting supply.
Okay. And I guess I need to stealth roll that as well.
You
right?
do need to stealth roll that. I will knock it down, especially for you, immediately after he's gone back to doze. I'm going to say it's a flat roll, like a flat sneak roll with whatever modifiers you have.
Okie dokie. Oh, that's a 1.
Yeah, you ain't quest pointing your way out of that one.
Nope.
So unlucky with that.
You kind of like move away from the pile of treasure, and a bunch of it like scatters to the ground around you. Zorb pulls himself back over the top of the edge. He goes, "Pretty birdie. No, stealing. Not pretty anymore."
Not stealing. Liberating.
Yeah, he's having none of it, and he's coming to smash the pretty birdie. Okay, here we go. He has one parley. That's it. We're not parleying with him anymore.
Sure.
Is anyone improvising? Is anyone using their action in any way other than oh, my cat is an idiot? Using an action in any way other than combat or running?
I have a possible idea, but I can't find in the book anything about how these mining explosives work.
Oh my god!
Oh no, they don't have a specific thing. It's all improvised stuff. I'd say it's definitely a tinker roll, and then we'll see what happens.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
So
well, this has gone in a direction.
How are you using the mining explosives, please? Please inform me how you're doing this.
I mean, probably setting it off and then trying to throw it down the pit.
Down the pit?
Well, where is his name? Zorb?
Zorb.
Where Zorb is standing.
Zorb the Blemmy.
Because he's like
pit
hitting over the...
He's up now.
Oh.
He's pulled himself up and over.
Oh, I thought he was still standing there glaring at us.
But you could do surely the same thing as you're thinking if you throw it at his feet.
And then he
stood on the edge of the sinkhole.
Yeah.
Is that the idea, to blow out the ground he's standing on? Okay.
That's a good plan.
Sure. Okay, well, let's... first give me a tinker roll. And you are not familiar with Sarpathy mining explosives, young man. So I would like you to apply a -2 on top of whatever other tinker stuff you have.
That's a 5, but I'm going to spend a quest point to make it 6.
Success with a twist. Okay. The twist is the Sarpathy mining explosives, which they're pretty complex stuff. They're not. They're basically dynamite. You've like sort of wrestled them around, used a bit of flint, knocked it on, and now the fuse is going. And it's really short. It's really short. So if you're going to lob this stuff, I want you to make an attack roll at a minus. Let's look at what his defense is first. You're not at him though, right? It's not directly at him.
It's at his feet. So,
it's at his feet. So I want you to make an attack roll at -3. Obviously, apply whatever attack you have as well. Remember, it caps out at 3, so it's -3 is the worst it can be. I'd like you to make an attack roll at -3 to see whether your mining explosives land in the right place.
That's a 5. I will use my last quest point.
For a success with a twist.
Yes.
Okay. You lob the Sarpathy mining explosives at his feet. He kind of looks down at it and goes, "Oh, what you..." The sinkhole kind of gives way underneath him. He drops down, but like grabs onto the edge of the sinkhole with those big meaty fists, and kind of starts pulling himself back up, going, mean. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Eat you.
No.
he's kind of pulling himself back up, but he's going to spend this entire fucking turn doing that. So, is everyone else using their actions for hitting him?
I think so.
I would like to do an alternative thing. My thing is the bodies of gelatinous goos are highly malleable and slick. The second part is gelatinous goos can also excrete a slippery goop that lasts for several minutes. Can I try and excrete goop where he's trying to climb up?
Sure. Okay. Yeah, sure. Give me a nimbleness roll. But I'm going to say the nimbleness roll is at a... put a -3 on it.
Okay.
Because I think you got a lot of ground to cover, and he's a big guy.
Yeah, fair. So that's a 6.
Okay, so that's a success with the twist. The twist is you do it. So he's gonna. What I'm going to say is he can't get up this turn, and he's going to have to roll to try and get up next turn, right? In some way.
Yeah.
But you're slurping around him in front of him for so long, he's going to get an attack on you with disadvantage.
Okay, that's fair.
By the way, fascinated that you found a big badass weapon and declined to attack the boss. I don't know if regular viewers know this. Sam hates engaging in actual combat with the enemies.
I will always do the fun thing.
He will always just do something else.
Usually a worse choice,
which often leads to situations where it's just like everyone needs to attack something, and he's like, no,
that's not as fun.
It's funny because as a GM.
Of the Mork Borg one, where in this you like disappeared so you couldn't be hit. In the Mork Borg one, you literally just didn't attack.
Yeah,
you were just like, I just don't think I'll attack this turn. I think I'm probably scared of it. And everyone went, what? As they were having chunks
going to die.
It made logical sense to me.
This one is a lot better. It's a lot better.
It's using a mechanic I really wanted to use for the whole thing. I just saw the
opportunity. Yeah. Knock yourself out. So with that in mind, I'm not sure it particularly matters what order we do things in for this turn, but roll initiative anyway. Kra and Ogren, please, that perception roll.
10.
1.
Well, fortunately, he's not acting though anyway. So Kra, hit the big blemmy. Game of hit the blemmy.
Let's do it. Well, I mean, I could spear.
And normally he gets a -1 defense, but I'm going to cancel that because he's dangling off the edge of a cliff.
The spear gives me a +1 dread, but I don't actually want to get that close to the edge of the hole. So I think it's Old Faithful. We're going to pull out the Gurdy and
distract him.
Yeah, do a shanty with a hook along the lines of, gravity's pretty relentless, isn't it?
Sure.
I don't know why you wouldn't want to get close to the edge of the hole. It's not like it's dangerous and slippy or anything.
Yeah. Like I'm not going in there with a spear.
Sure.
Okie dokie. So attack roll. 11.
Okay.
Unless there's any other modifiers on that.
Nope, not for me.
Cool. Damage roll 3.
Okay. Pretty birdie, bad noise.
I just wanted some new fans.
Ogrum.
I will attack with advantage using my exceptional mace.
Cool. No modifier from me.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't really need to roll again. I roll a 12.
Ooh,
so that's 14 with...
Oh, you roll... Yeah. So it's a double, isn't it? 14. Okay. Yeah. Well, you tell me how you deal... He's not dead, by the way.
Sure.
But it's a good chunk of his courage, so you tell me what happens.
I haven't rolled dread yet, have I?
Have you not? I thought you said you got 14.
No, 14 was the attack score. 12, roll 12 plus 2.
Oh, okay. Well,
So,
what's the dread?
Roll dread. Oh, there we go. I finally get a decent dread score. I rolled a 10. Crit was double, was it?
It is double. Yeah.
Okay.
You tell me how you dash heroically at Zorb the Blemmy and hit him.
Well, I guess I'll sort of rush in, trying to protect my friends, get out my mace and wail on his fingers, yelling, "Go to sleep!"
You rush over, you start cracking into those massive chunky fingers with your mace. Zorb goes, "Oh! Ah! I'm awake now!"
Oh dear. Not very heroic, but
That was very impressive, but I feel kind of bad now.
Zorb the Blemmy is no longer a problem. Who's going to make that final treasure hunting roll?
Now that I don't need to sneak, I don't mind doing it. Unless Ogrim wanted to, as the noble hero.
To just get the killing blow.
oh, go on then. Although my rolls are trash, so
You don't have any modifiers to treasure hunting, do you?
no.
Just give us a regular old roll, please.
Okay, I rolled a 9.
That's not too bad. A magnificent item. Give me a D400 roll, please.
So, okay. That's a 3 on the D4. And then I should really roll dice I can read. That would be helpful. 6.
So 306.
306, yes.
Okay. And then, oh, that's okay. Oh, okay. Well, there's only one potential magnificent trait for this. You have found an entangling scourge. It has it's only one slot, so it must be one-handed. Yeah, and it does entangling. On a critical hit, a large or smaller target is entangled, which is a condition. Yeah. You also, I believe, can roll for a component, so give me a D4 on that.
That's a 4.
And then a D, I think, yeah, a D100.
That's 14.
14. None of you are from Fleabag County, right?
Nope.
Okay. Then can everyone please roll Realm? And just give me a... All I need is to know that one person succeeded.
Succeed.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Both Judy and Ogrim and Throplable, you recognize what you've dug out as... God, what was the roll again? 14?
Yes.
They are very long, flexible purple vines kind of tied in a tight braid. They're strong enough to make good rope when braided. It's called clunchweed.
Nice.
There we go. Treasure chamber thoroughly looted.
I'm walking out of the treasure chamber, lofting this hefty maul above my head in celebration.
Nice. I'm going to assume
You Boyd.
perhaps is the idea to retreat back to that door and back up to Beetlemead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've definitely explored all of the underground.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
that's fine. It's all safe.
Well, you have, because the other parts are off the paper. So
yeah, you can't.
exactly.
There's no way to go there.
Inaccessible. Yeah.
Exactly.
There could not be any more.
You all make your way to the rubble leading up to the entrance. And who's in the lead? Who do we think would be the one lifting the door?
Probably Ogrim.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So the bugbear goes up there and lifts the door off to reveal what is kind of a slightly fading light in Beetlemead this day above. You see the sheriff standing there with a couple of guards. One of the guards has like a hammer and then like a couple of nails in their teeth. And the sheriff goes, Oh, wonderful. Simply wonderful. Stand down. Welcome to Beetlemead Guard. Deputies, not with an actual rank or pay or anything, but technically anointed deputies of Beetlemead County. Come on, I'll buy you a drink. I'll buy you a drink. Well, out you come. And remember the most important thing to take from today, both your enduring victory and also, please do remember, vote Warney. Yes, yes. Off we go. The sheriff shuffles you off to the cheapest possible drink that can be purchased from a Beetlemead tavern. That's the end of a one-shot. That's it. We're done.
Excellent.
We're done. Comments and questions in chat, if you got them, we'll address them. But first, very quick promo. Down below, there's a bunch of links, YouTube and Twitch. Please check those out. You're watching on one, look on the other for the different things that they do. There's also links to our Discord, our Patreon, our social media. Check those out. We run 3 weekly campaigns at the moment. Vason on Mondays, Simbaroom on Wednesdays, Cincinnati Chronicles, which is a World of Darkness crossover thing, on Thursdays. We do 1 or 2 one-shots every month. This was the June one. The July ones are weirdly both to do with motorbikes. Next Sunday, we've got Johnny's self-penned, created, imagined Bat Out of Hell themed role-playing story. So that will be fun. Tune in for that. And then on, I believe, the 15th of July, or maybe the 16th, but I think it's the 15th, I am running Hell Knight, which is a retro 80s Doom biker TTRPG that I'm basically treating as Mandy, the role-playing game. So tune in for those. John, what we got? Here we go.
Exciting.
James from Land of Eem. Just wanted to say your merry band of non-alliterative heroes are just fantastic. Loving the stream. Well, thank you, James. We appreciate it. And after having gotten my teeth into the mechanics, I could say I thought at the beginning I like them on paper. I actually really like the mechanics of this game. I think it's very slick and nice. So well done there. And I like the world too.
Yeah, that was fun. It was a fun place to be in.
Next. One from Shell. This game is bonkers. I love it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed adding, like, not necessarily dark, but just a little bit of like the like dark humor was quite fun to put into it.
That was really enjoyable.
And then also quite enjoyable just to sort of play it being kind of oblivious to it, or at least just not really wanting to draw attention to it.
Yeah, not going, oh, that's awful. What will we do? They're poor families. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You're just like,
Easy
exactly like
go.
It's exactly like in Fable. It's that endless
Yeah.
darkness that you're just like, I guess that's just something we have now.
That was definitely what I was going for. That kind of Fable / Discworld-esque grim things happen and people just wait for them. Yeah. Next. Don't pick food. Baking is like necromancy with flour. Sure, yeah. It's bringing yeast back to life.
I mean, certainly anything with sourdough is, that's definitely
Yeah, the never dying. Yeah.
Eternal. Yes.
There is an incredible character concept in there, isn't there?
The Necro Baker. Don't forget TT atmospheric sinkhole playing games. It did occur to me as I wrote that, because that was one of the only rooms that wasn't a gen. Because I wanted to design the last encounter, and as I was writing it, I was like, oh my god, more sinkholes. And if you don't know why I'm bringing that up, then you need to go back and watch Simbaroom from the beginning.
I also like the snake firing.
Snakes.
It just reminded me of Tabs. I don't know if anyone, with the snake archers in Tabs. Yeah, that's from the game though. It says they fire snakes, and it's got a little mechanic for it.
It reminded me of the throwing spiders in Simbaroom as well.
Right? Yeah. If you fail the vitality checks on that, by the way, you get poisoned, and poison is really fucking nasty. So well done on not doing that. Yeah,
we did get quite lucky overall in that.
I felt that was I somehow managed to balance that story quite well. I think
the balance was perfect. Honestly, it felt threatening, but we weren't out of our depth.
Because so I got down as low as 3. Judy did hit 0.
Yeah,
it's an interesting blend of threats, but
it feels like probably hitting 0 is something that might happen more than in some of the other games that we played, but that actually, like, there's yeah, it's harder to have really serious long-term consequences or death.
Yeah, it's only if you're only risking it if you're downed twice in a session or more.
Yeah, so you can bounce back relatively easily most of the time, and then
absolutely.
I like that down twice mechanic too as well, because it's kind of like
that's
it
nice.
makes the downing not too worrying, but also that prospect that once you've done it, you're like, okay,
now you've got
kind
to
of
be
feels
careful.
quite real at the same time, doesn't it? Too?
Yeah. I think another thing as well, like, and I don't know if you guys clocked this, but like, I do think if I had like it's not a criticism, but it is a sort of a relatively straightforward grokking of something to make things more efficient. And the different levels of enemies, so Goon, Bruiser, and Champion, they have vastly smaller health pools as they go down, but they all do the same damage. So I think it's much more efficient to kill the goons first.
I mean, it did feel like they were hitting a lot harder than they were able to take from us.
Yeah,
sure.
So the Sarpathi specifically, if you want some straight numbers, they all do 1d8 damage, all of them. But the goons, because they were level 2, had 2 courage. And the Bruiser had 9, because you roll like you take their level, which I picked as 2, and you roll two d6s and add them together for their.
Oh, I see.
But the goons' courage is 1 point per level, so it's a lot of difference. So it almost makes more sense. Kill the ads, as any MMO player will tell you. Kill the ads first, I guess. But yeah, you don't know it until you look at the stats and go
behind the curtain. Now we'll know for next time.
Yeah. That I definitely thought I'll give them that when we finish, because it makes a big difference, I think. Next, John. That Wayland wasn't a Wayland, was a boggart, but yes, the sheriff.
I was actually talking about the Wayland that was the leader of the second.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird because I made the sheriff Brian Butterfield, but sure.
I think the Wayland was quite similar in delivery.
Yeah. Kind of like a roar.
Yeah.
Bombs.
I really enjoyed that intro scene with us showing up, and then all these really competent adventuring parties, their names, and then us having to
all dying.
That was
really horrible.
I know. Yeah. That was such a fun setup.
What was everyone's favorite Doom for them? By the way, was it the distraught Goblin Guard? We'll see their faces in his sleep.
I did like the sound of falling pies description.
Yeah,
just outside the orphanage.
The orphanage
in front of their annual fundraiser.
That was the one that got me. Yeah, I mean, I was chuckling at the people thinking it was a good rain and then going, "Oh no!" when the nose landed in someone. Yeah. But the orphanage was my favorite.
They were cheering at first, and that was good. I never know the reactions to these things because I'm usually reading them out from a little script I've written, so I don't get to see.
That was really good. Yeah.
It was just like it's a very little thing, but just the I forget the name, but you chose to name the NPC who got the nose in her hair.
Old Sonja.
Yeah, with detail.
Cool. Have we got any more, John, or is that the lot?
I think that is the lot.
Lovely. Grand. We've got a couple of follows to acknowledge, I believe. Cat Slap Studios. An amazing name, but definitely not an action I support. And Roy Batty 11, who's James from Land of Eem. Thank you very much.
Could be a slap by a cat.
Could be a slap by a cat. Absolutely, could be a slap by a cat, which is obviously much more palatable. Cool. All right. Thank you so much, folks. Tune in. Vason is on tomorrow, right? Vason players.
Yep.
Which we have 3 here. Vason should be on tomorrow. Tune in for that. Simbaroom and Cincinnati Chronicles later in the week, and next weekend Johnny's delayed Bat Out of Hell story. So if you're interested in that at all, please come join us. Take care and stay safe out there, folks. Thank you. Goodbye.